Hey guys, so this is the foundation routine I went ahead and recorded for you. It's a simple foundation routine, believe it or not. Well, it's simple for me. This is what I basically do all the time, which is what I got a lot of questions on. And during the video, I actually use my beauty blender, which is this little thing here. I love my beauty blender for applying my foundation. It's really quick, it covers a lot of space, and you can actually turn it over to get like really close around the eye area. So the beauty blender was my brush of choice, or I guess sponge of choice, this tutorial. And I'm saying that because I got some questions when I posted a look I did a few weeks ago on what kind of brushes I use to apply my foundation and a foundation routine. So I updated my foundation routine, and I'm going to go ahead and also film a video after this about brushes. The lighting is bad because it's nighttime and I'm filming in the dark, kinda, so sorry I'm not all fancy smancy and all lighted up, but yeah, I hope you still like the video. Okay, if you want to see how this simple look was created, just keep watching and I'll show you how. Before applying my foundation, I like to make sure my skin is prepped and primed, so I'm using a moisturizer to get a good canvas going. So once that moisturizer sinks in, I'm going to be moving on to my foundation. And I'm going to be using my Hellllllloo skin base. You can use whatever foundation you have. And I'm going to dot it all over my face like you see me doing here. I probably use a little way too much. You don't have to use this much. I was going for more of a full coverage look. But once I have it dotted where I want, I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to go ahead and blend it out all over my skin. The beauty blender is damp, so you actually use less product with the damp sponge. Which is pretty cool. But yeah, so I'm going to blend it all over my face and drag it down my neck a little bit as well. That way it blends seamlessly and I don't look like I have a mask on. And yeah. So now I'm going to be moving on to concealing and highlighting. I'm going to be using a skin tone concealer on my cheek area to hide a blemish and some hyperpigmentation from a scar I have. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to move on to my under eye area, and I'm going to be applying my concealer underneath my eyes in a triangle pattern with my fingers. That's completely fine to use your fingers during your makeup application. As long as they're clean, you're okay. So once I have them in that triangle type shape, I'm going to blend it out with my beauty blender. Now I'm highlighting in that triangle shape, that way my cheekbones come out a little bit more. Whatever the light hits or whatever is lightened tends to be drawn or brought out more, and whatever's darkened tends to be sunken in, I guess you can say. So shadow kind of. So once I'm done with the highlighting, I'm going to go ahead and do my contouring, which aka shadowing kind of thing. So I'm going to be applying it to the hollows of my cheeks to slenderize my face. What you do is you make a fishy face, and then you kind of, what I do is I make a harsh line down the side of the hollows, and then when I'm done with that, I blend it out with my beauty blender. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I also like applying some contour to the widow's peak because I feel like the widow's peak it makes my forehead look like really big on the middle, so I like to diminish it a little bit, and that helps it appear a little smaller. So here I am doing the same thing to the other side of my face, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So now what I'm doing is I'm cleaning up my brows. I did fill them in off camera, and I used a brown eyeshadow to do that. Once they're all cleaned up, I'm going to be moving on to setting my face. Now to set my foundation, I am using my Ben Nye banana powder, and I'm just applying this to the apples of my, not the apples of my cheeks, but the under eye area and the center of my face, just to mattify everything a little bit and make sure the product stays on there for a longer time. Typically what I would do is I would actually use a translucent powder all over and pat it into my skin, and using a translucent setting powder actually helps your foundation stay on a lot longer. So you can use a translucent, and if you want to use a banana powder, you can use that afterwards, but I'm just using, for the sake of the video, I'm just using my banana powder underneath my eyes and down the center of my face. Now for bronzing, I am using a bronzer from Inglot. It's number 74, I believe, and I'm going to be taking an angled blush brush and applying that to the hollows of my cheeks right over the contour. This is going to help warm up my face a little bit, also help with that shape that I try to give it to make it a little bit more slender. And you can also apply it in a number 3 area, starting at the forehead, going towards the hollow and down to the jawline. But I just focused it there on the hollows of my cheeks. So I'm applying my blush right now, and I'm using a coral color. You can again use whatever color you would like. But what I'm doing is I'm applying my blush lightly to the apples of my cheeks, and then I am blending out the rest towards my hairline right on top of the bronzer. And I'm going to do that on both sides. And just make sure you kind of apply it lightly at first. If you want to go darker, you go darker later on, because you don't want to look like you have 2 big stamps on your cheeks like a doll. And blend it out as well. But yeah, that's it. That's my everyday foundation routine. Alright guys, so that is it. This is what I ended up with. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say bye. And I'll see you next time. Love you. Take care. Be safe. Bye.